Do join us once again here in Norfolk at Snetterton 300 circuit for round 14 of the GB4 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. One race down and drama already overall, as our championship challenger Fred Green unfortunately did not finish from the lead of the race, which handed the victory to Alex O'Grady, extending his championship lead. He was followed by Torrin Byrne for pace performance and Dayton Coulthard for our podium. Now we have rounds 14 and 15 to come today. That was round 13. We are moments away from round 14 ahead of us now. I'm Piers Prior. Once again, I'll be building you up to the race ahead of us, and Chris McCarthy will be talking us through that race. Chris, a potentially decisive moment in the GB4 partnered by the BRDC Championship in 2026 yesterday.
Yeah, a real shame for Fred Green, wasn't it? Was going along really well. Looked like he was going to be closing the gap by 6 points in the championship, and then sadly some technical issues for him, taking him out of the race, and O'Grady took full advantage, taking the full 35 points as well, and reminded us after the race just how decisive that could be as well. So yeah, a shame for Fred Green, but you can score big points in this championship, and I think we need to remember that.
Yeah, interesting to see in that post-race interview that I did with Alex O'Grady after he won that race, that he said potentially last year he might have gone for a high-risk manoeuvre, but he was ready to basically settle in to that race and take the win. Let's just remind ourselves of what happened yesterday in that round 13 of the championship.
Round 13 of the GB4 Championship. We had our top two starting on the front row. Second place in the championship, Fred Green, would lead us away as we headed down to the first corner here at Snetterton for 20 minutes of action. It was a clean start throughout all 27 drivers on the field, and then it was down to the hairpin at Montreal. You could see the leaders coming through here. Green quickly settled in. We saw Dayton Coulthard dropping back a little bit after issues with the brake pedal on the start-finish line, and then went for a big send coming into the first corner, and that sent the number 54 car off grass cutting, and you could see had to come back in there, did Connor Grant, to get all that grass back up. Drama towards the end of the race. Fred Green had technical issues and had to make his way back, and then it was focus for Alex O'Grady. Just bring it home, bring home the 35 points, extend that 25 gap up to 60 points, and that's exactly what he'd do, taking his second win of the season. KMR Sport, who took the championship title with Tom Mills in 2023, now looking strong to go and add another championship title here as we have the Road to 100 races here at Snetterton. Torrin Byrne finishing in second place, a really good result from the number 18 driver, and Dayton Coulthard finishing in third.
Alex, well, unexpected win there, but you'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was quite a bit quicker than Fred at the start, but he had the track position. I think he would have won that race. So yeah, shame for him. He really needed that win to keep close to me in the points, but no, it's good for me, and yeah, happy to take home the win.
Torrin, what a drive, mate. Brilliant drive. Pace really strong.
Yeah, really happy with that. I think, you know, pace was strong. Fortunately, didn't quite have the pace to catch Alex, but no, I think it did a good job and had a good start.
Dayton, third place. I assume you'll take that after what was a difficult start.
Yeah, bit of a complicated race. It was just game of catch up again at the end. I got my foot stuck under the brake pedal at the start. The car was rolling back, so I had to hold the brakes on, and I don't know what happened, but we ended up in that situation. So it was not ideal, but it was points in the end. So
that was round 13. We now start to look ahead to round 14, the second race of this weekend. The first of this morning, Chris, is the second grid race set by the second fastest lap times from qualifying. We've still got that partially reversed grid top 12 race to come later on today, but let's look ahead to the race now. Slightly different conditions once again. It's cooler this morning. Actually, I'm a little bit chilly in my t-shirt, let alone, so that'll be a little bit easier on the tyres for the drivers, something that they have to get used to. Less wind as well.
Yeah, considerably different to what we've had over the course of practice the last couple of days in particular, and then yesterday as well, and we are the first cars out on the track as well, so it's going to be a cold track out there. The first couple of laps could be a little bit tricky, but the driver's going to have to try and quickly settle in. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the more experienced drivers will be feeling more confident coming into this that they can take advantage and make some places. But for our rookie drivers, it could be a little bit of a tricky one at the start.
But this is all something that the drivers have to get used to, and the best drivers in the sport will have got used to. And that's the whole point of the GB4 Championship, partnered by their BRDC. The first rung on the motorsport ladder in single seaters for a lot of these drivers. A driver that's joined us this season with the Elite Motorsport team, the team that took so much domination and so many victories last year, is Emilio Valentino Del Grosso. He's always an entertaining character, and I caught up with him after yesterday's race. Emilio, race one done. It's tricky around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really hard to overtake, much harder than I expected to. So yeah, I mean, it's still an awesome track to drive.
You've done a fair amount of testing here. You know, you got yourself up to speed, but is one thing learning the circuit, getting the lap time and qualifying, and another thing racing, isn't it? I imagine there's a lot to think about, because you can make moves around here, but it's just not as easy as some other circuits.
Yeah, so basically this was going to be my least strongest track of this calendar, because I've tested here less than everyone else, because I did a GB3 test day here as well. Yeah, I mean, it put us on the back foot. We got up to speed. In qualifying, we managed to do a decent lap time to put us up in 6th position for race one. And yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it's a fun track, but you can definitely overtake here, and I tried.
You tried very hard. Talk to us about some of those attempted moves.
It was a very, very nice race. I mean, Gajinski, he got me, and then I tried to overtake him into turn 2, and unfortunately I didn't manage to overtake him. But yeah, definitely trying in the last corner, especially down into turn 4 as well. It's just an awesome track, but if he defends, then you can't do anything.
Yeah, it's a bit narrow around here, but it makes it a unique challenge, very different to Silverstone last time out. 2 races to come. What can we expect from Emilio?
Oh well, definitely. I'll be fighting up there. I mean, we have the pace, and I'm so sure that we can fight for a podium this weekend.
Fight for a podium, big talk there. It's good. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Well, good luck this weekend.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Emilio Del Grosso there chatting to us, a great character in the paddock. I think he's going to be a fan favourite in future if he continues his motorsport journey up the ladder. He started and finished 6th yesterday, so right in amongst the thick of the action, I suppose. He'll be looking to make places up today. 8th place, his second fastest lap time, not quite as good as his fastest. He was right in the thick of the action for that sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th downwards, where we saw quite a lot of drama yesterday. In the pre-show yesterday for round 13, we spoke to both of the Douglas Motorsport cars of Dayton Coulthard and Conor Grant. Very strong qualifying. Not an ideal race for them. I spoke to Gemma Stevenson, who is their team manager, PR person. I don't know exactly her job title, and I said she sort of insinuated that maybe that it was going to be a bit awkward yesterday, because we saw her 2 drivers go side by side through turn 1. Unfortunately, Conor Grant turned his Tatas GB4 car into a Tatas Carbon Harvester yesterday, didn't he, Chris?
Yes. Yeah, that was probably the moment of the race, wasn't it? Conor Grant trying to hang it round the outside, and I think a little bit too ambitious, and saw all of the exit of Snetterton a little bit more. I don't know if he would have been able to see as he came back onto the circuit, but for the mechanics in the pit lane, that's probably a first.
Yeah,
and one they'll tell for a long time.
Do you know what, Chris? Actually, if they're seasoned mechanics, I don't think it's the first. It does often happen here at Snetterton. There is basically, you go off at turn 1 Riches, and there is nothing between you and, well, Thetford. I think Conor Grant was actually in a different postcode at one point. Very unfortunate, of course. Conor Grant was successful last time out at Silverstone, was really happy with his qualifying. We'll see him go again today from towards the front once again. His second fastest lap, not actually as strong as his fastest, so he'll be pushing on today. Another driver that was strong yesterday in that fight for the podium positions was Thomas Ingram Hill, the driver that took his first victory this season in Silverstone last time out, and then was strong in the reverse grid race. He is going from 3rd place on the grid today. He was a bit further down on the grid in yesterday's race, owing to a 5-place grid penalty that he carried over from Silverstone. He'll be looking to push for a podium, and I caught up with him yesterday as well. Tom, race 1, you managed to just about get to the back of the podium, couldn't quite get yourself on that podium once again, but a good result considering you had that grid penalty.
Yeah, of course. Nothing really could have done very much in that situation. It's really hard to race around Snet, especially with aero cars. So I'm happy I just went forward a couple of the places I did. Bit of a shame I wasn't starting P3 where I was supposed to because of the grid penalty, but you know, we are going to do as hard as we could with that. Still saying about that, but it's just something we have to take and move on. But you know, overall it's a good race. You know, I had to try something on that last lap and it just didn't work. Like, I think I'm still trying to get as much points as I can because of the bad start I had with the season, but yeah, it's good points.
Let's look ahead to race 2 now. Where are you starting?
P3.
P3 from race 2 should be a good opportunity for you. Maybe, I know it's hard to overtake around here, but I imagine you're eyeing at least a podium.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I've raced Alex and Fred a lot so far this season, so I wouldn't mind going a bit further forward with them too, and challenging for the win like we did at Silverstone. So that's my main goal. We've got the pace. Obviously, it was a big gap in qualifying at 2 temps, but I think in that race, we've got a better race pace than most of them.
I know that it's hard to overtake around this circuit. Have you got any tricks up your sleeve that you might be able to pull out tomorrow if you get behind one of the guys in front?
Of course. I've also got Mike in my ear. He's not in my ear, on my corner of the truck. And yeah, see Coach Joseph here who raced here and some other people. So, obviously he's going to back me. But at the end of the day, you just got to drive and put where you think is best.
I know you practice a lot behind the scenes in the simulator in terms of not only the technique but also the racecraft as well.
Yeah, of course. A lot of it is serious, but some of it's not. But it's just good fun and a lot of learning.
So looking forward to let's look ahead now to the third race of the weekend, that partially reverse grid. Always entertaining. It might be difficult around here.
Well, no, I obviously had some good practice this morning. Not this morning, this afternoon of it in that race. So yeah, obviously I just hope to do the same as I did, and if I get 4th from that position, that's what I got to do. According to AI, at least, I looked at what I got to do to be in the championship fight, and that's what AI says. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed indeed. Using AI to get your championship hopes on. So Tom, we'll look forward to seeing how you get on.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Tom Ingram-Hill for Fortec there. He's looking to push on. He'll be happy to be starting where he qualified in this race in 3rd place. He's a little bit of a way off in terms of points on our top 2 in the championship. He's in a rich run of form at the moment. He'll be looking to try and put himself at least in between the 2 drivers ahead, if not maybe even getting another win this season. That was Thomas Ingram-Hill. Another driver that had a really strong race yesterday was Lily Mae Watkins for KMR Sport. She had her best result of the season so far in 13th place in that race, and I caught up with her yesterday as well. Lily, coming into Snetterton, second half of the year now, you've definitely taken more steps forward this year. I think that's one of your strongest qualifyings, I think, so far, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my best result of the season, which is good. On a track that I'm normally not too great at. Like last year, I think I was down right towards the back of the grid. So to make that jump this year is really good.
It must be a good feeling coming to a circuit that you struggled at last year to then see the development that you've done with the team and in yourself.
Yeah, for sure. We've been working hard this year. Obviously, even in pre-season, this was my worst track. So it's literally just, we've been working hard and the pace is finally showing.
And I know you've been working hard both in terms of your technique, but also, I think last year you said a couple of tracks you were struggling physically. I know you've been working hard on that. Has that helped as well around here? Because quite physical around here. There's corners come one after the other.
Oh, for sure. This is probably one of the most physical tracks on the circuit, and I don't really notice anymore because I've just been training hard.
Just your muscles are so big now. Yeah, exactly. And let's talk to us about the season so far. You mentioned last year was very much getting into the swing of things. This year you've been taking strides forward, working with KMR Sport, who are a great team. Is sum it up so far?
Well, we haven't had the luck this season that I think we would hope for, but we're getting there. We haven't been great in quali, just some things outside of my control and just a couple mechanical issues, but then we've been forward in every race, show what we can do in the races, and that's what's important. 2
more races to come this weekend. What are your hopes from today's racing?
Just to go forward. I reckon there'll be a lot of chaos, as always, so it's just literally about staying out of trouble, and then you can gain those positions out of that.
Yeah, there's always that partial reverse grid race 3 is where things kind of kick off, don't they, with those extra points for making positions, but it looks like you're looking forward to it.
For sure.
Amazing. Lily Mae Watkins, thank you so much for chatting to us, and we'll see how you get on.
Thank you.
Great to see drivers come back for a second season like Lily Mae Watkins and make genuine gains. We've spoken to Lily a few times over the course of the last couple of years. Last year it was her first season in car racing. She was just getting up to speed with things and also physically realising how demanding it is driving a single-seater with slicks, no power steering reminder in these cars, as with most single-seaters, and she's really taken steps forward in her driving with the KMR Sport team as well, Chris.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Tom Mills yesterday and he was very impressed with how she's progressing forward, and Kevin Mills seemed very happy as well. So yeah, but good to hear compliments like that from a former champion as well. So that definitely goes a long way for her.
A former champion, of course, Tom Mills, now helping the team behind the scenes and helping the drivers as well. Chris, I'm going to say goodbye to you now because you better go and get yourself ready to commentate on what will be round 14 of the championship. While Chris goes and gets that ready and I make my way down to the assembly area, let's have a ride on board a GB4 car around this Snetterton 300 circuit. Let's ride on board for a lap of a GB4 car in 2026 at the Snetterton 300 circuit with Archie Bullard as we head top speed in towards turn one of Riches. We hit the first apex, missed the second, and then watch out because the circuit comes up quickly on the left-hand side. There's absolutely no margin for error there. We brake heavily down into Wilson, the main overtaking opportunity of that big downhill braking zone. Late apex is required. A bit too much curve that time from Archie gave us oversteer. Then into the middle sector. This is very technical now. Sideways we head through Palmer. It flattens out of the exit. You saw there on the right-hand side. Track limits come up quickly. Do not run wheels over the back of the curve. Another big braking zone now. Narrow into Agostini. A late apex also required. Traction out of here is crucial. We stay right because we're opening up a quick left-hander here of Hamilton. We're going to try and get as close to the tyre stack on the left-hand side there. Track limits comes up quickly, a bit of oversteer, and then braking on the bump for Oggy. It's a tricky corner that's bumpy. You must use the curb, hit the first, miss the second apex, and now heading out through Williams. Potentially the most important corner on the circuit because it leads out onto the long Bentley straight over 750 metres, completely flat out now, down towards Brundle and Nelson. You can see the bridge coming up in the distance. Another overtaking opportunity both on the inside and outside. We brake and turn at the same time. Get to the curb on the left-hand side. Stay left to open up the right of Nelson. Get on the power quickly because we're flat out through the bum hole. Track drops away heavily here. Car bottoms out, and again the track limits come up quickly on the left-hand side. Ideally, we're going to be going completely flat out through Coram, hugging the white line on the right-hand side on this lap, but it just runs ever so slightly wide, but does well to get back to the right-hand side to open up the last corner of Murray's. Traction, again, crucial there as we now have a flat-out run on the centre straight to complete a lap of the Snetterton 300 circuit in GB4. That was an onboard lap of the Snetterton 300 circuit, and we are now getting ourselves ready to go racing for the second time this weekend. First time today, round 14 of the GB4 Championship, partnered by the BRD. So you can see in the background drivers getting their race gear on. Dayton Coulthard right behind me here. He's going from grid 4 in this race, as he did yesterday. Interestingly enough, Douglas Motorsport, especially Dayton's car, always here in the assembly area first today. Always in every race weekend, they like to get down here and psych out their rivals. Just turning up in the back of shot there is the orange car of Fred Green. He was the driver that did not finish in yesterday's race from the lead. A disappointment yesterday, but he's back on the grid and will be racing from second place. Yesterday started from pole. He was in a commanding position. You can see also the left-hand side tyres brand new on Fred Green's car there, so that should give him an additional amount of grip, at least in the first half of the race today. He'll be looking to try and make amends for yesterday. I'm going to jump in and have a quick word with him as soon as Fred's taken his helmet off. Fred, I know a disappointing day yesterday. I'll let you get your helmet sorted one sec. Disappointing day yesterday, not the way you wanted to end, but a commanding start to the race. You know that the start was okay. Car's clearly good. You're back out again, ready to go for it today?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously yesterday wasn't ideal. Just things like that happen really. So yeah, that was a shame, but I did everything I could really, and looking forward to today and hopefully get some good results.
Amazing. New tyres on the left-hand side. That should be a bit of an advantage.
I hope so. It's always a job to know really whether it's going to help you or just help you at the start. So we'll see. But I think this week the new tyres are coming really fast. So yeah, hopefully it should help me out.
Fred Green, a driver who was coming into this weekend second in the championship, was hoping to close down the gap in the overall standings, but unfortunately, of course, due to that issue yesterday. Why don't we, while we're up at the front of the field, Fred Green was on pole yesterday, but today, Alex O'Grady, our championship leader, starts from the pole position in first place. He was a fast driver in qualifying. He had this second fastest lap in qualifying, and I spoke to him after qualifying. Alex, championship leader coming into this round, so a pole position is exactly what you needed.
Yeah, pretty happy with that. I think, we had it in us to be double pole, but, you can't always have it your way. So, pretty happy, really close to having the two poles, but to be on pole for race one is quite nice, and with Fred again, so hopefully we can try and score some good points and, convert that pole into a race win.
It's a rinse and repeat from Alton Park, where we had Fred on pole for race one and you on pole for race two, and the situations are reversed for the first race. We saw a 1-2 each from you there. I know that you're the one that wants to be pulling away at the moment at the front of the championship, but I suppose it's going to be quite a good fight both on the circuit and for the championship for the remainder of the year.
It's been good so far this year with Fred. I think we've got a lot of respect for each other and we've been pushing each other all the way. He's definitely had a bit more bad luck than me, so he's a bit further behind the championship than he should be. But, we've got a decent gap now. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. And I suppose the guys behind me can't really afford to have many crashes or bad races. I can have maybe one. So I'm not too worried about it. We're up the front in quality on the front row for both races, so hopefully we can convert them into a good result and score more points.
That was Alex O'Grady there for KMR Sport, our championship leader and pole sitter. He is the driver that came into the weekend with a pretty commanding championship lead, and will be looking to extend that even further today if he can get away from pole position, although he's going to be chased hard by both Fred Green and Thomas Ingram Hill for Fortec, who goes off third place. We saw yesterday the start crucial. Dayton Coulthard, who we spoke about at the head of this little Parc Ferme into start, had a poor start to yesterday's race but managed to fight his way through a little bit. He had a fight actually with Connor Grant, his teammate and rookie there, who ended up in the field. There's some photos that have been circulating around on social media of a fair amount of crops being taken up by the front wing of that Douglas Motorsport car. They'll be looking to avoid that situation again today. Then starting in fifth place we have Enzo Horman, the number 7, the red car for Hill Speed. Enzo was disappointed after qualifying yesterday. I was wanting to chat to him, catch up with him, find out what happened, but he was not pleased and decided that maybe we'll chat another time. He's got brand new tyres on his right hand side of his car as well. He's a driver that's right up there in the championship. Came into this event 4th in the championship, looking to take 3rd with the absent Luke Hilton, who is not here for Nitrous Competitions ADM Racing. Enzo Horman finished 10th yesterday from grid 12. He's going from a bit higher in this race. His 2 laps in qualifying were very evenly matched. Then the driver that finished 2nd in yesterday's race, the 18 Torin Byrne. I've said it a number of times, but pace in a really good place at the moment in terms of pace. They're looking strong. Torin as well is leading the team at the front of the field. He's pushing his way up the order. He's looking to move forward from his 7th place in the championship standings, and yesterday's results definitely will have helped with that. Let's grab a word with someone from Pace. Let's wander on back and see what Pace have got to say. Who wants to chat? Tell me about why Pace are doing so well at the moment. You guys have been taking strides forward recently. Torin driving excellently as well.
Yeah, I think Torin is driving pretty well. I think the whole team in general have put in a big shift over winter, and to get to this point we're very proud of what we've managed to achieve in a short time in the championship. So our focus is just doing what we can control, and the drivers are going to do what they can control and keep on with the results we're getting.
Absolutely, it's going well so far, and it's easy to pick out with the white and green. You guys new to the GB4 Championship last season, just getting up to speed, then this year really taking another step forward, but you're not new to racing in general, are you?
No, we've had years in the Ginetta Junior Championship. I think the stuff you learn in that championship with driving and car prep is transferable to anywhere we go now, so hopefully we can keep going with this, learn a few more tricks and keep a few up our sleeves to hopefully keep the last 2 rounds of the year interesting and keep pushing for more wins.
Absolutely, and also consistent in pace as well, because you've got Torin Byrne starting in 5th, 6th in this one, then you've also got John O'Donnell and Josh McLean all inside the top 12.
Yeah, we had all our cars inside the top 8 yesterday, which was an achievement everyone in the team's worked really hard for, so if we can keep going like that today, we've got a reverse grid pole and 3rd, so who knows what can happen in race 3.
Any celebrations for silverware? We've already got some some this weekend, haven't we?
We got some. We'd like to wait till the end of the day, and then we'll enjoy.
It's good not to count your chickens, isn't it? In motorsport, you never can guarantee any results. Torin Byrne there, you're looking at right now, a driver that's very much on form. Let's take a step backwards, shall we, so we can have a look at Emilio Valentino Del Grosso for Elite Motorsports. He is going from P8 on the grid for Elite Motorsport. We chat with Emilio later on. Let's have a quick chat. I'm sure he won't mind. Emilio, feeling ready for the race, second race of the weekend?
For sure, I'm so ready. I can't wait to get started.
Always excited, ready to go. Emilio there, a driver that's very much enjoying life in the championship, the number 5 driver from Venezuela. If you are watching from Venezuela, then get involved in the comments if you're watching online. He's also got 2 brand new tyres on the right hand side of his car, so we're looking to make use of the extra brand new Pirelli rubber grip. A reminder of the tyre situation for these drivers. They get 6 tyres, so a set and a half for the qualifying and the 3 races. So basically they put a brand new set on for qualifying, and then they have the choice of 2 new tyres to use at any point during the 3 races. Well, the whistle has gone. Everyone is getting ready. The engines are rising. The engine revs are rising as we get ready for round 14 of the GB4 Championship.
Time to go racing for round 14 of 21 in the GB4 Championship. Snetterton, our venue this weekend, back where it all started in 2022, and today we celebrate 100 races of the GB4 Championship. Plenty to celebrate with that. Ritchie's is where we saw Conor Grant go off yesterday and really go exploring, showing the challenges of this circuit. Two very long straights here at Snetterton, the Bentley Straight being one of them, which takes you down to Brundle and Nelson, and then the exit out of Murray's. Absolutely crucial to get a good run down these centre straights as well. Saw plenty of battling yesterday. It was very close between the top 5 in particular, until Fred Green was sadly taken out of the race due to technical issues. He'll be looking to fight back today from the front row of the grid. But that's a look at the Snetterton 300 circuit, the place where we will be celebrating our 100th race today. And just like that, you can see the cars are now on the grid getting ready to go racing. Quick update then on the championship standings. It's Alex O'Grady who extended his lead with that second win of the season yesterday to 60 points over Fred Green in the orange livery to his right. Luke Hilton remains in third, but will drop down the standings as he's not here this weekend. Dayton Coulthard up to 4th place, going past Enzo Hallman. He's 80 points back from O'Grady. And then it is Ingram Hill in P6 in the standings. Torrin Byrne in 7th. Very close from Coulthard down, just around 21 points between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th in the championship. Well, this is the second race of the weekend. The grid is made up of the second fastest laps from qualifying. Just gone 9 o'clock here at Snetterton. We are the first cars out on track this morning, so the conditions going to be a little bit different to what we had yesterday. It's still warming up, so a fairly cold track, drivers on cold tyres as well, and that will provide a challenge, no doubt. You can see Valentino Del Grosso, who we saw on the grid there. Here's your full grid for you then. Second fastest laps this. It's O'Grady and Green, the top 2 in the championship, in that order on the front row of the grid. Row 2, Thomas Ingram Hill, who is P6 in the standings. Dayton Coulthard starts where he is in the championship standings. P4 was on the podium yesterday. Conor Grant will be looking for a bit of a different result today. He's going to be on row 3 with Enzo Hallman. Much better result for him in qualifying there. P5 in the championship. Torrin Byrne looking very quick yesterday, finished second place overall. And then we have Emilio Valentino Del Grosso next, finished P6 yesterday. Oh no, we have someone going round already, and that's the number 4 car of Jamie Leviton, but it's John O'Donnell and Connor Willis who are row 5, rounding out the top 10. Connor Willis in the top 10 yesterday. Josh McLean is on row 6. Alongside Josh is Franek Chigilski. McLean finishing in P8 yesterday. Then we have Jordan Martin and Matan Ashitov on row 7. Jordan Martin going very well so far this weekend. Lily Mae Watkins, who we heard from earlier, is on row 8 with Dimitri Nolan, the American driver, and it doesn't look like Leviton is going to be taking part in this race. So a difficult race for the AMD team. Gets a little bit more difficult there. So it's going to be just Michael Coe on his own on row 9 for Arden Motorsport. And then rounding out the top 20, we will have Archie Davies and Archie Bullard, who we saw the onboard lap from a little bit earlier. Outside of the top 20, we have Faris Organji and Romal Bouquet. His brother was DJing for us yesterday and will be today throughout the paddock as well. So that's where you'll be hearing the music from throughout the paddock today. Yasser Iskander is going to be on Rotel, then Solem Armouche next along, starting P24. Holly Mile is P25. Enzo Ruggiero is P26. And then next along we have Caitlin McDaniel rounding out the field. Now, not too sure exactly what happened to Jamie Leviton there. Is he the only car that stopped? No, we have another one as well. So the number 33 car has also stopped on the circuit as well. So that is Yasser Iskander and Leverton. I don't know if this is just a coincidence or if we've had two cars come together, but that is two cars who are not going to be starting the race. Piers Prior in the commentary box can talk us through this one.
Well, I've just walked into the commentary box to see two cars stationary already, which is not what we want to see, of course. We'll keep you informed if we hear any more about what's going on. In fact, we're actually going to get a replay on the exit of it's a spin.
Right.
That's a spin for Jamie Leverton, I think. So just on cold tyres. It's cool out there this morning, Chris. Only 17 degrees at the moment. I say cool. That's actually for the UK fairly balmy. But considering the weather we've been having this summer for the last 2 or 3 months, it's feeling quite cool out there, but very different conditions to what the drivers have been used to. I mean, Thursday and Friday practice and testing, it was like mid-30s, let alone. So we're almost 15 degrees lower than that. So the drivers trying to get temperature in their tyres, knowing that it's cold, but just slight misjudgment. Easily done, but unfortunately that means that Leverton won't make the start of this race. And we didn't see what happened to Yasser Iskander, but he also will not be taking the start of this race. But lining up, nonetheless, if those cars have been removed, we may get racing straight away.
Yep, it's going to be a 20-minute race. The race down to time in this one. Top 20 get points as well. 35 points going to your winner. 29 to second place. So a big chance for Fred Green to make points back. And that's exactly what he'll be wanting to do. There we look down the start-finish straight here. It is, you can see O'Grady on the front row of the grid with Fred Green. We get ready for the lights to come on. 60 points between the top two in the championship now, and all the cars ready to go. It's just a case of whether the track has been cleared, and that is confirmation that it hasn't. So we are going to have a delayed start, Piers.
Yeah, delayed start, which will mean almost inevitably we'll get a second formation lap, potentially a slight reduction in race time as well, while Yasser Iskander's car there for Fox Motorsport gets retrieved and taken to a safe position. The marshals doing a good job getting that to a safe position at this early stage. That looks like the exit of turn 3 through Palmer's. You're looking at the back of the cafe here in the Snetterton circuit.
I don't know if that's tyre marks there, as that's where we've had an off, but we're stationary on the circuit, Yasser Iskander. So is that similar to what we saw from Leverton? Just another spin coming out of a corner. Let's have a look at the championship standings after round 13. So you can see it's O'Grady 60 points ahead of Fred Green. Luke Hilton not with us. Then we have Coulthard next along, 80 points back. Enzo Hallman P5. That is a change we had in the championship yesterday. Ingram Hill on 193, Torrin Byrne on 181, Franek Chigilski is on 158, Josh McLean on 155, Emilio Valentino Del Crosso in that bright yellow livery, P10. So it's a chase now, isn't it, to try and catch O'Grady. There he is, the Irishman who is leading the way, not just in the qualifying session we had yesterday, but in the championship standings. We still have 2 more weekends to go after this, Piers. So there is still plenty of opportunity for drivers to close in on O'Grady.
Yeah, I think it's sort of the way the championship has played out after yesterday's misfortune for that driver there of Fred Green in the bright orange elite motorsport car there. The gap at the front of the field now, Chris, you mentioned 60 points. It's not insurmountable, but it would take some pretty good going from Fred Green and anyone else, and then also some misfortune for Alex O'Grady for that to be overcome. A reminder, the points system, 35 points for a race win in race 1 and 2 of each race weekend, then 20 plus 1 additional bonus point for every position ahead you finish ahead of your grid starting slot, up to a maximum of 32. So in theory you've got 70 from race 1 and race 2 and then another 32, so 102 points maximum you can gain. So yes, physically possible, but with the form that O'Grady's on in terms of his consistency, which is what has put him in that position at the head of the championship. I mean, as you mentioned yesterday, Chris, never outside of the top 10. Only 3 of 13 races outside the top 5.
That's good.
That's why he's leading the championship and has a 60-point advantage, because Fred Green has won more races, has won 3 races, had 5 pole positions this season so far, including this one, but has had 3 non-point scoring finishes, which is a big dent when you look at those. On those races where Fred Green didn't score points, 7th place, race 3 at Silverstone, the first event of the season for O'Grady. And then the non-score at round 8 of Donington, it was a 4th place for O'Grady. And then another non-score at Silverstone race 1 when he came together with Tom Ingram Hill, a 2nd place in that race. So that's why that you have that chasm in terms of points, considering that the driver that has the most wins in the front of the championship standings this season is in 2nd.
Has always taken full advantage. There's the American Connor Willis, now a winner in the GB4 Championship. We've been doing a bit of story time, haven't we, so far this weekend. We're on the road to 100 races, and Piers Prior has pretty much been here for all 100 of them. So we are reliving some of the memories, and you talked about taking advantage of full points. That's something Cooper Webster did at the end of the 2023 season. Tom Mills was already crowned champion, but Cooper Webster went out, took full advantage, took all 3 victories in the Donington Park season finale with a double pole position, which left him just 11 points back. Do you remember this one? Cooper Webster going out and taking all 3 wins?
But this is the point at which Tom Mills had already sealed the championship.
Yeah.
So Tom Mills didn't partake, our champion that season didn't partake in that round, which helped Cooper Webster because, of course, if your driver that's won the championship with a round early isn't there. However, he's still allowed to go out there and do it and drive through the field. So that was great to have Cooper Webster and Evans GP driver that weekend. Evans GP, a part of the championship that year. One of the many teams we've had join the championship over the years.
Yeah, that was race 45. Race 46 would see the arrival of Alicia Parmovsky as well. Season 3 would, of course, also see the arrival of the prize, giving €30,000 to the highest placed female driver put towards F1 Academy. Alicia coming up from the Ginetta Junior Championship and would win her very first single-seater race by 3.5 seconds at Alton Park as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Just a part of the article that's on the GB4.net website has just filled me in. It was 20 different teams we've had represented over the 100 races that we will be finishing later on today in that 100th race. As you can see, Jasper Iskander's car there getting removed from the Agostini hairpin. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris.
And another one as well, Snetterton has always provided some memories. Lucas Blakely, 2024, remember this one?
Biggest race winning margin, 15 points. 15 seconds, 15 point something seconds, I'm pretty sure.
And he was with the KMR Sport team as well, who are on pole position, would win race 1, take a podium race 2. Looks like we're getting ready to go for another formation lap. Let's continue with this story, though, because it's great to relive the memories. One that would make a huge amount of noise on social media as well, wouldn't it, when Lucas Blakely came in to Snetterton, took the win in race 1, podium in race 2 as well.
15.449 seconds was the gap that Lucas Blakely won over Linus Granfors here that season.
Yeah, and then in race 65, that was race 54. In race 65, Linus Granfors would become the season 3 champion at Brands Hatch as well.
Yeah, and we've had Fortec take the title once again. Of course, they took the initial driver's title with Nick Taylor, and then again with Linus Granfors.
Yeah, did so with a race to spare as well. Been some really brilliant drivers in this championship, hasn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to see many, many more to come. Alex O'Grady is a second-year driver. He's looking in a commanding position in the championship. Fred Green, in orange, he's already a McLaren GT Academy supported driver at his early stage of the career, coming off the back of a strong Ginetta Junior season last year. So, these drivers already have views higher up the sport. We've got also a lot of attention from some of the legends of the sport. Dayton Coulthard being mentored this weekend and potentially going forward by David Brabham, who I've just been chatting to in the assembly area, who's saying that Dayton's feeling confident in this race, looks to try and take another podium. I was speaking to Dayton as well. He said that the reason for his poor start yesterday, the car started rolling backwards ever so slightly, and he's one of our taller drivers, so coming with that is just making him stable when he stands. He's got longer feet than most. And he said that his feet got caught in positions behind pedals which shouldn't have been where they were, and he said it won't happen again. So because I did remind him that we've got Brands Hatch coming up, and that's one of the most steep race starts I think in the world. You have to hold the brake and the clutch at the same time when normally you'd be on the throttle. So Dayton's already got one bit of extra experience of that this year, that he can potentially avoid a poor start there, but he'll be looking for a better start today because he was looking really quick in the first phase of the race, coming back from those positions that he lost.
Yeah, but he reckoned he pushed the tyres and maybe a little bit too much. Do you think that'll be a bit different now it's cooler here this morning?
Yeah, we weren't expecting it to be even cooler this morning. I think it will be a bit different, Chris. It'll make it harder for the likes of Fred Green, who's got 2 new tyres on, to get them up to temperature. But once they are, these Pirelli tyres, when they're in their first heat cycle, they are a tenth or so, a couple of tenths maybe, up to half a second on the first few laps quicker. If you have a full set, but no one has a full new set of tyres. A reminder, 6 tyres for each car for qualifying in the 4 races. So a brand new full set for qualifying, and they have 2 new tyres, or one side of tyres, should we say, that they can then choose to use in either race 1, race 2, or race 3. We saw Alex O'Grady choose to use those new tyres yesterday. To good effect, took the win. Now Fred Green has that advantage in this one.
Race is shortened to 16 minutes. How is it when you've had a delayed start like that? It's, as a driver, I'm sure you've got more time to think about what you're going to do at the start of the race, and just in general, you've got to try and get yourself back in the zone again. Yeah,
delayed start isn't normally too bad because you kind of get ready and then you sit on the grid, and then as soon as you then have the formation lap again, that's then you can basically reset. It makes no difference. You're aware the race is shorter. It's more difficult when you get a mid-race interruption, when you've had the adrenaline spike at the start, you've been racing, and then the race settles down. Often you get out of the car, then you had to get back in. That tends to be more psychologically difficult to get yourself fired back up. But this situation, not much different. I would say, though, that Fred Green will actually be Alex O'Grady from pole position will be slightly glad for that, because with 4 fewer minutes in this race, a bit less time, is less opportunity for drivers behind, less variables for safety cars, less opportunity for mistakes. You're effectively 4 minutes closer to sealing the deal, but he still needs to get away from the line well. That's going to be critical.
Well, it looks like we're ready to go then for 16 minutes of racing. This is our second race of the weekend, round 14 of the season. We are almost ready to go. To the right of screen there is Fred Green. To the left, your championship leader, Alex O'Grady. And we are go for the second race of the weekend here at Snetterton, down towards the first corner. It's not been a good start from Fred Green, and Thomas Ingram Hill in that white and red Fortec is going to try and go all the way around the outside. It's Dayton Coulthard in the black livery to the inside now, who is going to try and get back on the attack. And look, Alex O'Grady, a chance to break away, but is locked up going down to the Montreal hairpin, and that is going to lose his advantage. And we've got one car off there on the exit of the hairpin, but back to our leaders. It is Alex O'Grady, who already has a gap at the front, Piers.
Yeah, ideal start for O'Grady, got away well, and then side by side battling for second, third and fourth has allowed him to get away. Torin Byrne trying to get back through on Conor Grant after that mistake at the Wilson hairpin. Now out to the outside looks Dayton Coulthard. He can't get through.
Fred Green just trying to get heat through the tyres. Ingram Hill next along. Then it is Coulthard after that. Other than that one car off, it looks a relatively clean start. As I say that, yellow flags have just come out, and that is for the number 15 car that has gone off, which is Lily Mae Watkins. So disappointing for Lily Mae Watkins.
Yeah, after her best result this season in yesterday's race, was coming into today on a high, but unfortunately we saw her spin at the Wilson hairpin at turn 2, and unfortunately she is she's going to be out of this race. It looks like the fire extinguisher may either have been used on the car or have gone off as well, so she won't be able to continue even if that car can run. As we resettle down, this is again playing into the hands of Alex O'Grady to a certain extent. Actually, I say playing into the hands. Unfortunately, he would have had a nice little gap, which he now will be eroded, but more time behind the safety car, which means less time on the tyres, less time for mistakes, as we mentioned a moment ago. He'll be looking to keep the heat in the tyres, and also this is potentially as well take a little bit of the advantage away from Fred Green as well. He had those new tyres and he would have been looking to push on, but through this phase of the race he won't be able to use that extra tyre advantage.
Yep, so it was Conor Grant 5th, Hallman 6th, Byrne 7th, and they're just the marshals just over that car, so it might be a little bit of a delay this one. And then we have Del Grosso O'Donnell and Willis. Shall we have a look back at the start then?
Yeah, it was a good launch from Thomas Ingram Hill on the inside of row 2 in the white and red Fortec car. He went to the outside of Fred Green but couldn't get the move done around the outside, but actually put him under pressure from Dayton. Coulthard had a good run through the exit of Riches down towards Wilson. Then look in the background, we're looking for the charcoal and blue car of Lily Mae Watkins. Oh, contact, nearly a roll there. That was contact with one of the Arden cars. Let me see if I can figure out roughly who that would have been. That would have been Michael Coe up the inside. I don't know whether Michael Coe has continued. It looks like he's still circulating. He's in 15th place. Actually gained 2 positions, so he was away from the line well. May well be carrying some residual front end damage, but Lily Mae Watkins, unfortunate incident there. It's just lots of cars coming together and converging at the apex of the Wilson hairpin.
Surprised not to see suspension damage to the Arden car there, because it was quite a hefty whack, wasn't it? We can see the car at the top right of the screen. The marshals have pushed that to a safe position now. Now it's about getting driver back to a safe place. And there goes Lily Mae Watkins.
Yeah, Lily Mae Watkins, a reminder, a driver that's joining us for the second year in this championship. She had to sit out the Donington round injured, unfortunately. She injured her, I think it was a hand or her arm in one of the either the practice or qualifying sessions for that event, and had to sit on the sidelines and watch. That would have been a hard time for her, but she's worked hard to rehabilitate herself. We saw her back at Silverstone inside the top 20, 16th and 2 17ths there, but then, as we mentioned yesterday, with her best result of the year, coming home in 13th. She's knocking on the door of a top 10.
Yeah, really good stuff. Mills very happy with a safety car in this lap, so we've almost ticked off around half the race here, what was going to be half the race, and so this is looking good for O'Grady, but Fred Green will be looking to try and get on the attack pretty early here. It's about getting a good run out of that final corner, isn't it?
Yeah, it all is about the exit from the final corner. You're absolutely right about that, Chris, because it's a long run on the centre straight from Murray's at the last corner towards Riches. Riches, you can get a move done. We saw Dayton Coulthard do that move on his teammate yesterday, but the main overtaking opportunity is trying to get a good run through Riches so that you're close for a dive up the inside of the Montreal hairpin, or at the very least putting the driver defensive into there so you can get close through Palmer and then have a go at Agostini as well. But don't forget, you've got the Bentley straight as well down the back end. That's over 750 metres long from Williams all the way down the back straight towards the Brundle and Nelson braking chicane that we're looking at right now, and you can overtake both on the inside and the outside. It looks like the safety car lights are out, so we are going to be going racing again this lap, and Alex O'Grady choosing to slow the field quite considerably to give himself as many options as possible to go flat out once again into the second half of the race.
And just heading round Coram now, and it's all down to Alex O'Grady, who's going to go pretty early already, halfway through that long right-hander. He's put his foot down, and you can see only the top 3 were really with him on that one. He's got a gap between Ingram Hill and Coulthard. We're back green once again in the second race of the weekend here at Snetterton. Your top 2 in the championship, 1 and 2 on the circuit. Then Ingram Hill in 3rd place, Coulthard in 4th place, Connor Grant in P5. Del Grosso is under pressure from McLean coming into the first corner, but a little bit further back is that Byrne defending. It is Hallman is locked up in that red and black livery, and that could open up an opportunity for O'Donnell behind as they now come through the left-hander here, and it's very close. Torrin Byrne having to look in his mirrors now into the final 10 minutes of the race. Green needs to start taking points out of O'Grady after that non-score yesterday. 60 points back. He'll want to get on the attack today, and the new tyres you mentioned earlier, Piers, as he's put on his car, he'll need to take full advantage of that in this race.
Yeah, an impressive safety car restart from Alex O'Grady at the front of the field. Went earlier than everyone expected. Gave himself nearly 8/10 of a second over the line. But you're absolutely right, Chris. The first half of this lap after the safety car, Fred Green closed that gap from 8/10 to 5/10 to then 3/10 as we headed into Agostini. And he's now going to give himself a potential opportunity down towards Brundle and Nelson, or at least maybe the start of the next lap. Yes, look at this. Right underneath the rear wing. The orange car there. That is Fred Green. Chin kick to the inside. O'Grady not feeling the need to go defensive, but we've got a lock up as well for Tom Ingram Hill and Dayton Coulthard.
Yeah, that was a huge puff of smoke for Dayton Coulthard, and he set a bit of a trend that's been formed. Lots of lockups coming down through Brundle and Nelson. But Fred Green was saying hello, wasn't he, to O'Grady going down that Bentley straight. He wants to get on the attack and wants to do it early, but a lot of lockups, wasn't there, on the restart?
Yeah, that's a combination of maybe track different conditions than the drivers are expecting. They've not really done a full racing lap. Having had a safety car, tyres not exactly where they need to be in terms of temperature. Brakes a little bit cool, so a bit more grabby. We're looking at the 88 coming over the line there of Jordan Martin, who's a bit of a cork in the bottle further down the order. She's currently sitting in 13th place. Fred Green, therefore, confirmation. Fast lap, lock up from our leader, O'Grady. That will mean Fred Green can quite literally smell the pressure that he's applying on the back of O'Grady. When you lock up and you follow someone who locks up through a corner, it smells really strong, quite unpleasant, but it says to you that I'm doing the right thing. I'm putting the driver ahead under the pressure that I want them, and they're feeling the pressure that I'm putting them under.
Second time O'Grady's locked up into the hairpin down there as well, and you could hear just struggling a little bit on the brakes once again, but this is really a two-horse race very quickly. Ingram Hill in third place has dropped back. Coulthard in fourth place will be trying to get by because they're queuing up behind, and that's Connor Willis. No, it is Connor Willis trying to get through a little bit further back on Franek Chigilski for 11th place. So the number 99 just sitting outside the top 10 currently. Points go down to your top 20 in this race.
Yeah, we look back to the lead of the field. Not quite as close this time, Fred Green. He had a small lock-up in Agostini on this lap, turn 4, which dropped him off the back of O'Grady slightly. And every lap that we do, the brand new tyres on Fred Green's car on the left-hand side get a little bit older. So do O'Grady's, but the pace falls away more aggressively when the tyre is newer. So Fred Green needs to, if he's going to attack, he needs to attack soon and make the best use of the tyre grip he has there. We're looking at Josh McLean. He'll be going from reverse grid, partially reverse grid pole later on today. He's pushing on, currently sitting in 10th place at the moment. Our front two running away with it at the moment is Ingram Hill, not able to stay with the pace of the leaders at this stage. Although saying that, on that last lap, Ingram Hill did pull them in by half a second, but it was potentially due to those couple of small errors from our leaders.
It wouldn't be a disaster, would it, if O'Grady didn't win this race? He's comfortably ahead in the championship, but for Fred Green, 60 points, anytime that's going to go up from here, that will feel a real steep climb for him to try and close that gap back down, so he'll really want to get through.
Yeah. If he goes and wins this race and finishes in the position he is now, he would take it beyond 2 race victories in terms of points, which is then a pretty commanding situation, considering we'd only have 4 more grid races or qualifying grid set races for the remainder of the season, the 2 remaining events, of course, then the 2 partially reverse grid races as well, but that point's different for that one. 20 points for a reverse grid win, plus any additional positions you gain from your grid position.
Yeah, it would be a lot for Fred Green to close in, but we still have a whole weekend at Donington and a whole weekend at Brands Hatch after this one as well. Very busy down the lower order of the top 10, and in the middle of the pack there's Bullard, who we had the onboard lap from, running in 17th place so far. That's a pretty solid run for him so far in this race, and opportunities to move forward. Very close together, the field. Of course, it is a reduced race from 16 minutes. We had that safety car as well, so it's been around 5-6 minutes at full speed here. Whoa, there we go. Another one to the list. It's almost like if you don't lock up down there, then you're out of fashion.
Yeah,
but,
that's the Scorpio there of the number 9 Remu Bouquet. He's I think locked up a couple of laps ago as well, so just maybe pushing hard is that braking zone. The drivers have the ability to change their brake bias in these cars, so that's the percentage of braking that goes to the front wheels compared to the rear wheels. They have a dial in front of them behind the steering wheel which they can turn, which allows them to balance the braking into the corners. Too far forward and you'll get lock-ups like we've seen from a lot of drivers. Too far rearwards and you end up with rear chatter and the rear will slide into the corner like putting a handbrake on, so it's a fine balance. Torrin Byrne wide through Riches, he'll be under pressure coming into the middle sector from Enzo Horman.
Yeah, who will be looking to fight back today because he's lost a place to Dayton Coulthard in the championship, and it's very close in that battle for third place in the championship. There we go, Piers.
When we say lock up, that's what we mean. Remu Bouquet, that front left tyre, right hand side of the car as we look at it, and you can see that dark patch on the tyre there. That is what we call a flat spot. if you're new to motor racing, when the tyre locks up like that, you end up rubbing away just one part of the tyre and it becomes flat because it's on a flat road. And of course, you generally want your tyre to be round.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that will mean that Romu Bouquet will be experiencing a fairly aggressive vibration through the steering wheel as that patch hits the ground at 100 and however many miles an hour he's going at that point in the circuit. And also, every time he brakes now, he'll be more likely to lock the tyre on that flat spot because it applies less pressure in that very spot that he's already locked up, so it can exacerbate things and start a vicious cycle of locking up as we head through Brundle and Nelson and flat out to the bomb hole once again. A really thrilling section of corners. You have to be brave on the brakes, braking and turning into Brundle and Nelson. Then the exit of Nelson is crucial because we go flat out through the bomb hole where the car drops away and then hits the ground through the middle and then flat out through Coram before the technical final corner at Murray's.
Yeah, how is it to drive over all this circuit? You've got these long straights, haven't you? So plenty of time to think about things. And then we got the hairpin down at Wilson and Brundle as well. It's quite a challenging circuit.
Yeah, very challenging circuit. One of the most technical that we go to, but I think a reason why the UK and England has such heritage in motorsport is because circuits like this really develop you as a driver. Really good for testing around here. You've got almost every type of corner, lots of subtle camber change, like here, turn 3. Palmer's banked on the way in and then flattens out over a crest at the exit, so you have to carry more speed in, but then anticipate how the change in camber affects the way that the car handles on the exit of the corner, not run beyond track limits. And then you've got technical hairpins like this, as we see once again the pace performance car there of Torrin Byrne defending from the 7, the red car of Enzo Horman. Defensive from Torrin Byrne up towards Hamilton corner, but because you've got switchback corners as well, you've got Agostini the left, then the left of Hamilton, then the right here of Oggies as well. You can end up having side-by-side racing, but look at this formation flying. That's allowing the 17 of John O'Donnell to make a move. Horman on the attack and then defensive.
Yeah, teammates working together almost there. And the number 17 of O'Donnell goes through, and Del Grosso just watching on in the background, getting ready to get involved. Look at this, a four-way fight happening now down towards Brundle, and trying to sell the dummy was O'Donnell. Byrne had read that. A little bit of a late decision, but now is just getting a bit of oversteer on the exit. Is that going to open up the door into the bomb hole? You do not go side by side through there, and O'Donnell just having to back out last minute. Torrin Byrne very brave round the outside.
A sharp intake of breath from me into Brundle and Nelson as the two teammates went side by side. Chris, yesterday we saw pretty much all the battling yesterday was between teammates. We saw the two Fortec drivers doing battle at the start of the race. Then we saw the two Douglas cars come to near blows at turn 1, and now we've got pace performance side by side. Outside is O'Donnell, inside is Torrin Byrne. Through Riches, are we going to have a repeat of Douglas yesterday? No, they make it through cleanly.
Just about side by side. It's Byrne on the inside, O'Donnell on the outside, down to the hairpin now, and O'Donnell just having to hang round the outside, and Del Grosso in the background side by side with McLean as well. McLean is going to lose possibly 2 places to Chigilski, and Willis, who's going round the outside. You can just see in the red and black, great move from the American, and he's through. Have we got a yellow flag out there? No, my eyes deceiving me, but down into the next section of corners we go.
There's not a yellow flag, Chris. It's 2 yellow elite cars that are doing battle as it's all kicking off. This is probably going to be the last lap of the race, I reckon, as we've got 10 seconds left on the clock. We head through the middle sector once again. Torrin Byrne just about soaking up all the pressure he was under from Horman and his teammate of O'Donnell. Now O'Donnell sideways through Oggies. That's going to allow Horman to get up the inside as we head towards Williams. Can they go side by side through here? It's going to be so close.
Just about having to back out there, but this battle will continue. Horman's going to have another opportunity, and he's not got any pressure coming from behind either, so this will give him a chance coming down to Brundle, and quite literally white line defence from O'Donnell now switches back across. Will Horman be able to get through on the exit of the corner? No, good defence from O'Donnell in the end. Del Grosso and Willis next along. That could be a battle that goes all the way into the final corner, but out the final corner now, it is going to be 2 wins this weekend for O'Grady, who heads up to the line now, and it will be 2 out of 2 for the Irishman O'Grady to further extend his lead in the championship over Fred Green. Ingram Hill in third. Drag race to the line incoming here from O'Donnell and Horman, who has to go on the grass almost there, and that is going to be the number 17 of O'Donnell hanging on to 7th place ahead of Horman. Del Grosso 9th, Willis in 10th place, and another race win for Alex O'Grady.
Alex O'Grady, yesterday, fortunate, today, dominant, did everything he needed to. Got away from the line well, got a gap, safety car, good safety car restart. Almost completely error-free, and then had the pace to hold off Fred Green. Fred Green will be content with that, would have been hoping for at least to get ahead of Alex O'Grady, but ultimately in this race, if he'd have won yesterday, he would have been happy with a second, so I think he has to take that one. And then Tom Ingram-Hill will be happy to be back on the podium once again, the number 8. He's going to be taking his third podium of the season.
Well, we talked about yesterday in our memories of the Road to 100 how Tom Mills took a hat-trick back at Donington, the former KMR Sport champion. Are we going to see O'Grady do something similar as Piers is going to go over now and get some reaction from us, from our top 3 and some of the rest of the field? But it's been a perfect weekend so far for O'Grady. Fred Green trying everything he could there to get through, and wasn't quite able to break the pressure of O'Grady, applying lots of it throughout, but O'Grady staying firm out front, and will be very happy with that. Fred Green, good damage limitation stuff from him to finish in 2nd place. Ingram-Hill in 3rd. Coulthard in 4th place for his championship. That is good. That will put him to 3rd place in the championship now. So good driving from Dayton Coulthard. Ingram-Hill, good for him. Likewise, will he go past Hallman? I think he might. So we might see a couple of changes there inside the top 5 positions of the championship. Connor Grant's 5th place, the rookie. Of course, wasn't a good race for him yesterday, Connor Grant, but 14th in the championship. That's now his another top 5 finish. That's his 2nd top 5 finish of the season, so that will put him towards the top 10 of the championship. Torrin Byrne going very well this weekend. Came into the weekend 7th place in the championship, and that could change by the end. And then Hallman, O'Donnell next along. John O'Donnell, who's 17th in the championship, finishing in 8th place. That's a good result for him. Took an 8th place at Silverstone as well. And then we had Del Grosso and McLean. Willis dropping a couple of places on the last lap there, it seemed, to McLean and Chigilski. Well, there we can see O'Grady climbing out of the car, and that will be another race win for him. Back-to-back race wins for O'Grady. He'll be very happy with that one, the KMR Sport driver. Perfect weekend so far. Fred Green climbs out of his car, settles for 2nd place in this one, but good points on the board. But it is 2 wins out of 2. Will we see O'Grady possibly get a hat-trick, and from one championship leader to a former champion there in Tom Mills? He knows what it takes to take a hat-trick of wins and a championship title as well. And 3rd place, Tom Ingram-Hill. Fred Green maybe slightly disappointed with 2nd place, but you know your season's not going too bad when you can say that. And then Tom Ingram-Hill, who's becoming more and more popular on that podium. We've seen him, that's another one for him now. He took 2 at Silverstone, and a podium here for him this weekend. That's a very good result for Tom Ingram-Hill, who was P4 yesterday. You can just see Kevin Mills speaking to O'Grady there. Be very happy with what he's seeing. Well, let's go and get some reaction, shall we, down in Parc Fermé. Piers Prior is standing by, ready to speak to our top 3.
Thanks very much, Chris. Yep, here with our race winner once again, Alex. That was pretty much textbook.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Fred obviously had the 2 new tyres, so that delayed start wasn't great for me because it gave him an extra opportunity to get his tyres in more. But you know, I got off the line really well. It was a really good launch, just about on the limit of wheel spin. And then I locked up down into the hairpin. There was basically no grip down there. And I'd done that twice, so yeah, it was a bit sketchy being the first person into every corner. But I managed it well, and yeah, I held the gap to Fred behind.
That safety car restart was quite clever, I would say. It went a lot earlier than I think everyone expected you to. Was that a plan you had in your mind before the race?
Yeah, well, I know if I went off the last corner, Fred would have no dirty air, so he could follow me quite closely down the main straight. So I said I'd go around halfway around around the second to last corner, so it worked out well, kind of caught him off guard a bit. So yeah, I was happy with it, and we managed to bring it home.
More than a 2-race win margin in the championship now. That must allow a little bit of pressure off in terms of the remaining races for the season.
Yeah, it does, but we can't get too complacent, because I know at some point something might go wrong for me, and then Fred will be back right in it. But we've got a good buffer in the championship now, so I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. I think the pace has always been there. It's just about getting the car right every weekend, which we've done this year so far. So yeah, I'm happy to be in the position I am.
Alex O'Grady, double winner, championship leader. Let's go away with second place, Fred Green. Fred, not exactly the weekend you would have wanted so far. We saw you, unfortunately, DNF from the win yesterday, or from the lead yesterday. Yeah. Second place, pretty much all you could do in that race, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree. The car was feeling so good, to be honest. The best it's felt, which is very positive. But that race was won in qualifying. It was our turn yesterday to win the race, and unfortunately, for one reason or another, we didn't. But yeah, no, I'm satisfied with that race though. The car felt very good, and to stay so close to Alex for the whole race just underlines the pace. So yeah, positive really.
As much as Alex is a relaxed customer, you put him under pressure and he made a couple of small errors there, didn't he?
Yeah, no, for sure. The track was quite tricky, so I managed to adapt my bias on the formation lap, which gave me the edge on the first few laps, especially under the braking, so that was good from me. But yeah, in a single seater, I think unless you get a real panic on it in the lead, you do a good job not to win. So yeah, it's a shame.
Don't want to go on too long, but a little thing you said about the brake bias there. We saw a lot of drivers locking up in that race. Was it you had to go a bit further backwards?
Yeah, on the formation lap, I was catching the front a little bit, so I preempted that and yeah, went rearwards on the bias, which really helped. Yeah, so that was good. And nice, that I've got a bit of a brain on me, but hopefully in the reverse grid we can get stuck in and get some points back.
We'll see if that brain works in the reverse grid race, Fred. Good luck in that one. And then Tom Ingram-Hill, third place. Tom, another podium. Feeling good?
Yeah, not as much as I want it to be. I'm a bit frustrated, make all mistakes in that race, and but yeah, good to be back on the podium. Obviously missed out yesterday by the slightest thing, so yeah, happy.
Happy indeed. Reverse grid coming up. Can you make moves?
Yeah, of course. I had practice yesterday, so yeah, hopefully you can get the same result from earlier.
Tom Ingram-Hill, third place. Good, congratulations there. That was our top 3 from round 14 of the championship. I got the rounds all wrong yesterday. Let's have a look back and reflect on what was a pretty interesting race.
Round 14 of the GB4 Championship would see our championship leader Alex O'Grady leading us away from pole position, and he got a very good start. Fred Green on the outside of the front row, under pressure coming through the first corner there from the likes of Dayton Coulthard in the background, and Thomas Ingram-Hill in the red and white Fortec. Big log up from O'Grady, and there was an incident in the background which saw Lily Mae Watkins out of the race after contact with Michael Coe. That would see the safety car come out. It was a shortened race as well due to a delayed start after we lost a couple of drivers on the formation lap when we were back going for the final 10 minutes. Once again, drivers struggling just to get heat through the tyres and get the correct settings on the brakes, and the top 2 would stretch away after the safety car restart. Green trying to put as much pressure on leader O'Grady as possible, but Alex O'Grady would not break under that pressure, and he would go on to take 2 wins out of 2 for this weekend, with Fred Green second place and Thomas Ingram-Hill finishing in P3. Your standings after that one then, it's a further extension, a further 6 points, so 66 points is now the gap between O'Grady and Green, and then Dayton Coulthard in third, Ingram-Hill in fourth, Enzo Hallman in fifth place, Luke Hilton in fifth place, Torian Burns seventh, Franek Jagilski eighth, Josh McLean ninth, and then Emilio Valentino Del Grosso next. So some changes there in Coulthard and Ingram-Hill, and Hallman all go past an absent Luke Hilton in the standings. To our podium we go next. Thomas Ingram-Hill, we heard from there, pretty happy with how things are going. That's a third podium for him now this season. Got 2 back at Silverstone, and really showed that he's hit some form now, and he's continuing that on. Always the important thing to do. Thomas Ingram-Hill firing up the championship standings as a result. Second place for Fred Green. Seems satisfied with that one. I think quite a sensible answer really, in the fact that he knew yesterday was a really good opportunity for him. Wasn't his fault that that didn't happen. but he did well to keep Alex O'Grady under pressure, who is looking very, very good this weekend. 2 wins out of 2. Can he go and get a hat-trick as we celebrate 100 races with the KMR Sport team, who have been with us right from the start of the GB4 Championship? We'll be starting back down on the 6th row, as will Fred Green, so it's going to be those two down on row 6. The top 12 will be reversed for that 3rd race coming up later, which will be at 40 minutes past 2 local time here in Snetterton. Looking forward to that one then. Let's get some further reaction, shall we? Before that, Piers Prior is down there by the podium.
Thanks very much, Chris. Yeah, that was the podium there. Thanks for talking us through that. We've got a good atmosphere down here in the paddock. We've got the MSV GB4, GB3 race hub, where they've got a DJ outside. So if you're here at the circuit, make sure you make your way down and soak up some of the atmosphere down here. Also, if you are at the track, 12:40 in the GB4 paddock, which is up basically outside the back of the pits. You'll find all the GB4 teams, and the drivers will be out there doing signings, so you can get an autograph from some of the upcoming drivers in motorsport. That was round 14. Make sure you join us about 20 past 2 live for the race start about 20 to 3 for round 15, the partially reverse grid, race 3 here in the GB4 Championship.